Cathy Li, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
The theme for this year's Davos, of course, is entrepreneurship for the new era. And I can't think of a better subject that brings entrepreneurship and the new era, both of those things, together so well as AI does. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. I would say, for example, we bring together with us this global innovators community, including the technology pioneers that's just been announced today. And I would say, I think 70% of the startups are AI startups these days. So yeah, you definitely see that trend very much intertwined.
We spend a lot of time talking about AI, particularly in the media, but are we thinking about it in the right way? For example, I suppose my big question here is this a new industrial revolution?
Think about the spending that's gone in. Earlier this year, when we published our AI Transformation of Industries series, we estimated, I think by 2030, the spending, AI-related spending will be 680 billion. Guess what? Then in January, when Stargate was announced, that's 500 billion itself. And even like the overall impact on economy, at that time we estimated to be between 7.6 to 17.9 trillion dollars by 2038. Again, those numbers are very quickly becoming obsolete because we're just seeing continued investment that's gone into AI value chain. We're seeing, for example, retooling industrial operations. We're seeing the reduction in terms of fraud rate in banking sector. We're seeing AI predictive weather forecasting for energy pricing, many of the different use cases. And again, here the lessons that's learned is it cannot be an isolated solution. It's something because it touches the entire organization's workflows and humans, how we organize ourselves. So that change management is actually quite important. So for anyone who actually wanted to harness the powers of AI and the technology, you really need to look at it from a system thinking kind of level to be able to truly leverage the technology.
Are countries and businesses leveraging AI in the right way to boost productivity, I suppose, but not to leave people behind, not to just cut jobs and cast aside sectors of the workforce?
The industries should not, and they are not only focusing on the efficiency gain, because you need to think about the overall societal impact. You need to think about how to keep humans in the loop. You need to think about how to effectively use this technology to augment humans. If you do believe that the human society eventually will be designed for humans, then I do think there's always a role for humans to be able to figure out where to use the technology.
Do we also need to be a bit more careful not to be too reliant on AI, even just in our daily lives? And of course, in education is a particular area of concern.
True, I do have very strong views about that, because if you think about how we learn, how we study, yes, maybe the goal is not about memorization, but that process in order to process information is extremely important, and that's how we learn. So again, go back to my earlier point, we need to make a conscious decision in terms of what would serve us in the long run, and make a decision not to delegate the thinking part, which is the most important to the machine. And also just in terms of even the writing style, I'm sure by now we've all seen how ChatGPT does all those long dashes. So I think in the long run, humans again are the smartest living entities that's ever existed. I think we'll be able to figure it out what's generated by machine versus humans.
Cathy Li, thank you so much for taking the time out. There's some fascinating insights there. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.